The smell of fresh lavender and old wooden floors still lingers in my memories. That was Grandma's house, a beautiful two-story home filled with love, laughter, and decades of stories. It wasn't just a house. It was our heart. My sanctuary. My name is Sarah, and growing up, Grandma Evelyn was the one constant in my life. While my parents chased bigger careers and fancier cars, Grandma was always there, baking apple pies, teaching me to garden, and listening to every heartbreak I ever had. She called me her little light. But last year, as Grandma's health started to fade, I noticed something was wrong. My parents began visiting her more often, but their eyes looked different. Hungry. Calculating. I brushed it off as worry. Until that cold October morning when my phone rang. It was the neighbor again. "Sarah, you need to come quickly. There's a sold sign on your grandma's lawn. Your parents sold the house yesterday." My world stopped spinning. I drove there in complete disbelief. The bright red sign stood there like a knife in my chest. The home where I learned to ride a bike, where Grandma read me bedtime stories, gone. Sold behind her back while she lay weak in the hospital. I stood on that familiar porch, tears streaming down my face, whispering, how could they do this to their own mother? But what I didn't know that day was that my sweet, gentle grandma had seen this betrayal coming, and she had already planned her quiet response months earlier. I rushed to my parents' house, heart pounding with a mix of anger and heartbreak. When I burst through the door, they were celebrating with coffee and paperwork. "Tell me this isn't true," I said, my voice breaking. "You sold Grandma's house without telling her?" My father sighed like I was being dramatic. "Sarah, it had to be done. The property value is high right now. Medical bills are expensive. We're her children, we know what's best." My mother added softly, "She's not going to get better, honey. This money will help all of us." Their words shattered me completely. These were the same people who once told me family comes first. Now they were treating Grandma like an obstacle to their next vacation or new car. The betrayal cut so deep I could barely breathe. I left without another word and drove straight to the hospital. Grandma looked so fragile in her bed, but when I told her what my parents had done, she didn't cry. Instead, she gently patted my hand and smiled. "I expected this, sweetheart," she whispered. "That's why I made sure it wouldn't happen." 6 months earlier, when she first sensed her children's greed, Grandma had quietly worked with her trusted lawyer. She had transferred the house into my name through a special trust. She even recorded private conversations where my parents openly discussed selling her home the moment she became too ill to stop them. Hearing this, I felt a storm of emotions, relief that Grandma was protected, but also a deep sadness that she had to prepare for her own children's betrayal. I stopped speaking to my parents after that. The silence was heavy and painful. Family dinners, holidays, phone calls, all gone. I felt broken inside, wondering how money could destroy the people I once looked up to. But slowly, that pain turned into strength. I realized I had to stand by the woman who had always stood by me. A few days later, the new buyers showed up with moving trucks, ready to claim their new home. That's when everything collapsed for my parents. The lawyer arrived with ironclad documents proving the house had legally belonged to me for months. My parents had sold something they had no right to sell. The buyers were furious. They immediately canceled the deal and threatened legal action against my parents for misrepresentation. My phone started blowing up with desperate calls and messages from both my mom and dad. They begged me to fix it, saying they never meant for things to go this far. But the damage was done. Grandma passed away peacefully a short while later, holding my hand and smiling. In her final letter to me, she explained everything. She knew her children's hearts had changed, and she wanted to protect the only granddaughter who truly loved her. She left me the house, her savings, and most importantly, her wisdom. My parents received almost nothing. The family found out what they had tried to do, and the shame followed them everywhere. They were exposed, not just for what they did, but for who they had become. Today, I live in Grandma's house. Every room feels warm with her memory. I've filled it with fresh flowers and new laughter. And though my heart still aches when I think about my parents, I've found peace. This experience taught me that real family isn't always defined by blood. Sometimes it's the person who protects you even when they're weak. Grandma didn't raise her voice or seek revenge loudly. Her quiet intelligence was her greatest strength. If there's one lesson I carry with me now, it's this: greed can break families apart, but love and preparation can heal and protect. Never underestimate a wise woman who says little but plans everything. Thank you for watching my story. If it touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, sometimes the best revenge is living well in the home that love built.